Hello everyone, welcome to Answer Outdoors. I'm Justin Hunnell, and thank you for allowing me to fuel your outdoor passion. Hey everyone, welcome to Answer Outdoors. Smash that subscribe button down below, and also leave some comments of what you think of these videos. Here we go. This is my overview of my one bow. Well, everybody might say you have one bow. That's all I have too. Well, I don't really have one bow. Don't tell my fiance. I have multiple bows. I have long bows and recurves and also compounds I don't use anymore. In fact, I might be looking for a home for some of those. But really what this video about is, again, a system. And that system becomes, how do I dial myself down to get to what I need in a hunting bow? So a little background, I hunt out of a saddle quite a bit. I hunt from trees. I also hunt off the ground quite a bit in a ghillie suit. I am only hunting whitetails at this point. I do hunt multiple states. I do run a little bit heavier in arrow than most folks, and there are some custom parts on this bow. But for the most part, man, you can get into a bow like this. This is not a flagship bow. This bow does everything I need it to do. It is a quality brand. It is a Mathews. And I'm going to go over the ins and outs of this bow and the reason I chose some of these things and see what you guys think, and hopefully it can persuade you guys to really put some time into one thing and make it what you want. So real quick, this is a Mathews Tactic. So I bought this last year. Mathews Tactic is not their flagship bow. It's very similar to the Chill, which was the flagship bow from a while ago. This is a 29-inch draw at 70 pounds. So the reason I chose this bow is very short axle to axle, sub 30, 30.5 inches axle to axle. Has a very smooth draw cycle and has very forgiving brace height, but is also fast as I need it to be. I could actually push the speed on this bow faster than I push it now. It is maxed out. I do tend to shoot my bows. It is not sitting maxed out. I do max it out when I'm shooting. I do tend to shoot my bows at max weight. Everything's quieter. Everything's more efficient at max weight. So on that, I have a Montana Black Gold Ascent 3-pin. So this is a slider sight with 3 pins. And some of you guys might say, hey, you're Eastern whitetail hunting. What do you need a slider sight for? I don't need a slider sight. Or you have a slider sight, why do you need 3 pins? Valid point, you don't. But that's what I wanted. So I actually have the same sight in a 1-pin housing. It was actually less expensive for me to buy the whole sight as it was to buy just a 3-pin housing to go on that. So I went with that setup. Here's what happened. I missed the biggest buck I've ever seen in the woods to the point I was at 3 years ago with a 1-pin slider because I didn't have time to adjust it. And I also had to make a choice between range finding and adjusting the sight. Well, I knew the range, but I missed the shot. And, to be honest, it was a range to sight issue. So I never wanted that to happen again. So what I did was I went to a 3-pin, and you can see here it is a 3-pin sight. So I basically set it up as such, 20, 30, 40, and then my slider goes 40, and that bottom pin becomes my floater all the way out to 100. Now, I will not shoot 100 yards at an animal, but I will shoot 100 yards at a target, and I enjoy doing that. So the reason the 3 pins is because it's much quicker, and my pin gap is such that when in question, the pins kind of cluster in the same area, so I know that I'm good. It's not the most optimum way to do that. I understand that. I also understand I want the exact pin for the exact yardage, and with a slider, I can do that at extended distances. But within ranges that would matter or not matter at, those pins will cover everything I need. So I do have a G5 Meta Peep in here. I've run that peep sight since like 2006. I think it's a great peep, and I have no reason to go to anything different for myself. I'm running the Hamskea hybrid. This is a great rest. So I have it limb driven off the bottom limb. You can cable drive this rest as well. I've had absolutely no problems tuning this rest. I think it's absolutely bulletproof. It's awesome. I do run the Limb Saver quiet kit, I guess. I get it off Amazon, and it has a little, Navcom U here for the arrow, and then also a limb pad for the cord that runs from the rest. And this is just a little Limb Saver bow pod. So you'll notice the stabilizer is pretty long, and it's also custom. So this is a Doinker rod with some Doinker weights on the end. It came off a Doinker disc. The disc was just big for what I wanted. If I'm shooting target, I'll throw the disc back on, counterweight, everything. Great, fun, wow, awesome. But for me, I didn't need all that in a hunting situation, so I ran just the rod and the weights and got an extra weight on the end there. It balances perfect. Mathews tend to be a little top heavy, so I was really happy with that as a total setup. And I do run, just your basic everyday wrist strap here. The reason I just find that a confidence thing, I tend to hold my hand more properly when I do have a wrist strap on. Some guys do, some guys don't. I know a lot of people that don't use them. I've had one on every bow since like 2000 and whatever. So I do run that. And then from there, we're going to take a look. I'll slide it over. Man, I got a lot of Limb Saver stuff on this. This is a Limb Saver quiver. It's a one piece. Get it off here. Pops off. It is a Limb Saver rubber top, and it's 5 arrows. Right now, I have 5 gold tip Velocity 300s with a 50 grain brass insert, Rage Trypan, a 3 vein, and the Speed Nock on there. I also shoot quite a bit of Slick Tricks. So this is, this is a Rage Trypan. It's a big head, causes devastating wound channel, flies really well. But I'm also a big fan of Fixed Blade. I cut, insert, fletch, build all my own arrows. I don't rely on anybody else to do that. So I do have an arrow saw and squaring tool and all that good stuff. I went with 50 grains. It's actually less than I normally shoot. Normally I would shoot 100 grain inserts, but I just could not get this thing to tune to my liking with 100 grains. So I went to 50 grains without cutting my arrows shorter than what I wanted. So that's kind of the setup. You're looking at overall just a nice hunting rig for whitetails here in the east. Now, if I was to hunt out west, would I go with a little bit longer bow? I might. I've shot a 36 and a 35 inch bow for a long time before my last bow. Before this was a Struthers, very similar in length. But I shot those bows and really liked the consistency I got out of a longer bow at longer distances. But when I really break it down, what am I doing? I'm hunting whitetails at sub 40 yards out of a tree, and occasionally with a ghillie suit. I say occasionally. I've actually killed as many deer off the ground in the past couple of years as I have out of a tree. But that being said, so I want a short, light, maneuverable bow that I can shoot well, and this fit the bill. And I can't imagine myself moving away from this bow for a while. It's a current model. I have a tough time wrapping my head around spending $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500 on a flagship bow. I have a warranty on this bow. It's a great bow, and Mathews makes a heck of a product. I just, when I look at this is all I need. And a lot of times, as you'll watch these videos, you'll realize, hey, I get something and dial that system down to what I need with a little tinkering and a lot of thought into what I purchase. I don't buy everything that comes out all the time and try it. I really sit down and think of what's going to make me the most efficient, what's the best system, and how do I roll with that. And that's really where this came from. So I've run Whisker Biscuits, I've run other Dropways, I've run Q80s, I've run that Hamskea is where it's at for me. I'm not knocking the rest. It's just where it's at for me. The black gold sight is where it's at for me. Gold tip arrows are where they're at for me. It's what I've had good success with. You know, and it's not to say that other brands such as Easton or Spot Hog or any of those, I run Scott releases. That's what I run. Now, I will show a quick review of a True Ball at some point because I went to a tension style release with that release. But once I kind of got that down, I run Scott releases. I just find something and stick with it. And I feel like it makes me more proficient in the outdoors to kind of get those systems, get them dialed down, and understand that that's my comfort level. I will push the edges of those comfort levels. I will try other things when given the chance. But if it comes down to it, I want to know that something performs the way it's supposed to perform the second it's supposed to perform that way. And if I'm not comfortable with it, it's not going to be the case. That's myself included. So hopefully you guys like this. It's a quick rundown. It's not super techy. I know how to tune a bow down to, you know, cameling and all that good stuff. Not going over that. What I am just quickly touching on is, hey, this is a great whitetail rig. This is kind of, you know, what I ended up on, and hopefully you like that sort of thing, because there's going to be a lot more of that. Again, we're stuck here at home. It's, you know, March whatever 2020, and we're all kind of sitting at home doing nothing. So I figured let's make some good of this time and start this whole thing. So again, do me a favor, subscribe, comment, tell me you like it, tell me you hate it, tell me what you want to see. This channel is about becoming well versed in the outdoors. There's been a lot of fishing and a lot of hunting so far, and I do quite a bit of hiking, kayaking, stuff like that. So you guys let me know. I worked in the outdoor industry for a super long time, and I probably have some insight, and if I don't, I definitely have some friends that do. So you let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about, and we'll go that route. All right, I appreciate everyone's time. Stay safe, shoot straight, and catch a big one.